What is happening, YouTube? It is your favorite mums here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel again. So guys, today's video, let me just tell you right now, the full database of the game came out yesterday or last night, okay? So obviously I'm in Australia. It came out last night for me. So this is the first time I've been able to get online. So I haven't really had a good look yet. I'm going to be kind of having my first look with you guys. And what I thought we could do is maybe between now and, you know, when FIFA comes out, we can kind of go through the different leagues and maybe just build or have a look at some of the meta players, the meta cheap players that are going to be cheaper at the start of the year that you guys could use to put into your starting squad, right? Just to get an idea of like what the meta is and, you know, the kind of players you should be looking at using if you want to try and build your starter squads. Now, we'll go through the different leagues. We'll start with the Premier League today, I think, and we'll kind of go through. Quick stipulations, guys. What I want to do with this is I think any card that's 83 or over, we're not going to include, all right? Just because of price. Obviously, I want this to be like a starting squad, all right? Now, obviously, if you put FIFA points into the game and things like that, then, you know, you could build a team with some of these 83s, 84s, 85s, etc. in them. But at the start of the game, these cards are going to be very, very expensive. You know, an 83 meta card, if it's a really, really meta centre-back, for instance, 83, like Gomez from Liverpool, he is an 83 rated. He's going to be very, very meta this year. Looks really nice card. That card will probably be like 40, 50k. Even more, maybe. But I think a good chance at least like 50k is probably a good shout, if not more. I would actually say maybe a little bit more. So those cards are going to be expensive, all right? So they're not really starting team base. I mean, even your 81s, your 76s, some of those can be, you know, a little bit expensive, but they're relatively not too bad. You know, normally if it's like an 81 rated card or a 76 rated card, even if it's really, really meta, you know, it's not going to be more than 5 to 10k, and that's for a really, really meta one, all right? So, and some of them will obviously be 1,000 coins, etc. Now, when I build my starting squad, I like to go off leagues. If you guys don't know what off leagues mean, it's pretty much any league that's not a main league, like the Premier League, the Bundesliga. You can find you get the best value for money from those leagues. So you get really, really good players that are really, really meta, really good stats, but a lot cheaper than if you went to the Prem, etc. The Prem is usually the most expensive league because it's just the most well-known. Everybody wants to use the Prem players, etc. Right? So while we are going to go through this, personally, I wouldn't recommend just building a full Prem team for your starting squad. But what I like to do is you can use a couple players. So link. So I like to do, like I said, I like to do a hybrid. And I don't always just use off leagues. I try and make the base of it from off leagues. Then I might slot in, you know, a little, you know, Premier League trio in there or a Premier League Bundesliga that can all link together and get me the chem anyways, all right? So let's start. Let's go through it. And we'll just kind of talk as we go, all right? So basically, what I was thinking we do is we'll just go by position in the Premier League. If you have a look here, I've gone Premier League, all golds, and I'm on centre mids right now, but we'll go by position. So we'll start at goalkeepers, and we'll just go through and have a look at some of the in-game stats of maybe the more meta cards that are basically cheaper. I mean, obviously, you know, it would be nice to have these cards, but they're all going to be quite expensive early on in the year. Keepers, I guess, as well, aren't the biggest deal. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's probably, I mean, look, if you had to pick a keeper here, some of the ones that look all right, I mean, 64, that's his kicking. I don't find kicking's that big a deal. So he's actually not a bad card. For a 77 rated, he's got 3 of his stats in the green, 2 yellows, a 76 and a 77, but it's not that bad. What else we got up here? I mean, obviously, if you're looking at these lower rateds, Gaza doesn't look too bad. If you're heading up here, though, obviously, Dean Henderson looks pretty nice. Jordan Pickford looks pretty nice. But, I mean, as we all know, guys, keepers are pretty, you know, hit and miss. I don't think it's that big a deal. So, we'll start with just the main positions, right? So, let's start with centre-backs. Now, like I said, guys, we're not going to include these. If you did have to pick these ones, though, I'll quickly just give you a thing. Van Dijk will be the best centre-back in the Prem, but he's going to be filthy expensive. These guys aren't really that usable just because of their pace. 64 pace, 63, and 63. So, really, probably not that usable just due to their pace. Joe Gomez is the one I was talking about, guys. This looks like he's going to be so expensive. Just because if you are going Premier League, as you can see here, there's not many centre-backs in the Prem in terms of good ones. You've got Virgil van Dijk, but like I said, he's going to be filthy. He's going to be hundreds of thousands of coins. And then your next best option is by far Gomez. And with that 82 pace, which a lot of people like to have pace, man, pretty solid stats, that card will be expensive. I can tell you that right now. Like I said, we're going to kind of start with the 81s and stuff and the 82s and go down. Now, when you're looking for a centre-back, guys, you want pace is quite important, okay? Now, it's not the be end and end all, but you do normally like to have 70 plus pace, okay? Just as a general guide, the more pace, the better. I try and aim as close to 75 plus as I can. But at least, 71, 72 plus is what you like to look for. And then obviously, you want your good defensive and your good physicals. In terms of dribbling and things like that and your passing, they're not the biggest deal, okay? Like, obviously, you would want to have good stuff there. And later in the game, when you get to better cards, then you can be fussy with that. But all these lower tier guys, they're all going to have pretty bad passing and dribbling, okay? So that's just kind of standard. Now, in terms of centre-backs, I would say Sanchez looks like a really, really nice one, pretty nice one. Got the 74 pace, 82, 81 for defense and physicals. We'll just click on them and then we'll kind of have a look at them in a bit more detail. I don't want to take too long, guys, so I'm just going to kind of speed through it a little bit. You've got Rudiger, who looks pretty nice. I mean, he's kind of on the borderline, so it's there, but I'm not going to go in for now. I think Lindelof. Okay, looks all right. Bailly doesn't look too bad. We go to the next page where we have, okay, there's none really in there that grab my fancy straight off, all right? So I would probably say, in terms of if you are building a Premier League team, you need a Premier League centre-backs and you don't want to go super expensive, these are probably, I mean, these cards still could be expensive-ish, like Davinson Sanchez, like I just said, there's not many Prem centre-backs cheap ones. So he's one of the better, cheaper ones. So he still might be a little bit of money. But in terms of things, I don't mind these cards. So Sanchez, 6'2", solid height, high mediums, good work rates. Pace is solid. It's heavily loaded on the sprint speed a little bit, which isn't the greatest, but still not too bad. Good defending all round, good strength, good aggression. His balance and his agility is quite low, but like I said, you're going to find that if you can find a centre-back that's got, the pace and the fit defending and physicals, but also has good agility and balance, that's a big positive, but you're probably going to find most of these are pretty similar. But I would say overall, this is a pretty good card. You're probably going to be looking, I mean, I don't want to give an exact price. It's hard to say right now until, until the start, and we can kind of see how the market's kind of moving. But I mean, I think this card will be above 10K. I'm thinking, this could be like a 20K card or something like that, just because of there's not many options in the Prem. So he's going to be up there in terms of options. You've got Rudiger, 6'3", good height, good work rates, high mediums. 4-star skills as well. I mean, if you're a skiller, 68 stamina is okay for a centre-back. It's not a big deal. What I don't like about this is, I guess, his pace. He's already on the borderline of being slow. And the fact he is heavily weighted towards sprint speed. The 57 agility, 50 balance mixed with that 63 acceleration. I mean, I think you could use him, but he wouldn't be my favorite. Lindelof, 4-star weak foot is really nice. I like having that. It's not a deal breaker, but having that 4-star weak foot on a defender, it's more for his passing. Being able to use the left and the right to pass it off is always standard and good. High mediums are good. 6'2" is a good height. 62 balance and 67 agility. So that's a little bit higher than the other two that we've seen. So that's not too bad. He's got good reactions and composure. Pace isn't too bad. He's lacking a little bit, though, in this strength area. I guess the issue as well, and this all depends on the meta of the game, if heading becomes back a part of the game, because obviously his heading accuracy and his jumping isn't great. So that could also define him a little bit. He's not a bad card. I mean, Davinson Sanchez would definitely be ahead of him, but it's not a bad card. Next, we've got Nathan Ake. So 5'11". So this is the issue with Ake. This has always been his issue. I mean, other than that, it's a good card. His defense is actually really good. Pace is really good. Really good dribbling. So like agility and balance. Obviously, I know that's a little bit low, but dribbling, agility and balance are really good for a defender. Obviously, strength is a little bit on the weaker side, but you know, good defending overall. I guess the issue with this card and what has always been Ake's kind of issue is his height. He's 5'11". He has got 88 jumping, but 5'11", once again, depending on what kind of game we have. If it's like this year where it's pretty much impossible to head anyways, then someone like that, you know, you would want someone like that because it doesn't matter about his height and you'd rather the dribbling and the dribbling ability he has. But if it's obviously leaning towards, which what we're seeing from like a lot of the talks and everything is, you know, you can aim headers a bit more, you can aim crosses better, which is, it makes you think that it's going to bring back heading a little bit this year. So his height could be an issue. And then the next one we've got, the last one I've got on this list is Bailly. We've got high mediums again, good work rate, 6'1", which is okay. Honestly, pretty good defending. Defensive awareness is a little bit lower than the others, but really good strength, really good aggression. Pace is solid. And honestly, his dribbling's not that bad either. His agility and balance is better than some of those other cards. His ball control and dribbling's a little bit lower, but I actually don't mind this card. So that's actually not a bad card. But basically, they're probably the four I would be looking at, to be honest with you boys. Obviously, Gomez would be number one if you can afford that. But if you can't afford things and you want to build Prem, I'd probably be looking at Sanchez, would probably be the number one. And then I'd be looking at these three after that where, I mean, it kind of depends. Like I said, you know, Ake might be the choice if heading's not a thing. But if heading is a thing, then, you know, you'd probably want to go more towards a Lindelof or a Bailly. But all those three cards are quite meta for their rating and everything, right? So that's probably where I would be looking if building a Premier League squad. From the look of that, though, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think you could probably find better value in other leagues. Just to be honest with you. I mean, I haven't had a look at the other leagues yet, but yeah, there's not that many options. Alrighty, so let's have a quick look at left backs. I think this is a pretty easy one. Obviously, we're going to stay away from Robertson and Lucas and stuff. All right, a bit too expensive. Now, with a left back, obviously, you want some pace. So you're not going to find like 90 plus pace from a lot of these guys, but at least like, you know, try and get it to, you know, mid 80s pace. You obviously don't need to be insane, but okay defense and physicals. And then obviously having okay passing and dribbling as well. So you want them to be not too bad on their passing, dribbling, defense, and physicals. And then like mid 80s for their pace or so. So starting from the bottom, you're probably looking at Masuaku. So these guys would just be too slow for my opinion. Van Aanholt, Tierney looks really, really nice. Yeah, I don't really like that physicals. And then you're probably looking right here as well. And I'll be honest with you, that would be it for me. I don't know if I'm really a big fan of these. I mean, look, if you had to, you could maybe have a look at a Mendy's not too bad, obviously. 80 pace, 77, 77, 77, 77. That's not horrible. And same with the Luke Shaw. You know, his defense and physicals isn't too bad, just a little bit slower. But let's have a quick look at these guys, all right? So on this side, you got high mediums. That's standard for a left back. Pace is good. Probably lacking a little bit on the defensive side, though, compared to what I would like. Crossing's not too bad, and he's got pretty solid dribbling for what he is, but yeah, a little bit low on that on that defensive side of things. Van Aanholt. So we've got the 4-star, the 90 jumping. Okay. So this isn't a bad card. I'm going to have a quick one thing, though. Pace is really good. Dribbling solid. Defending's actually quite good. Heading accuracy, I mean, it's not as big a deal because you don't expect him to be winning a bunch of headers and he's only 5'9". He has got 90 jumping though. And then his other defensive, you know, in the 70s. Interceptions is 69, but that can always be easily boosted. So I actually don't mind it. Stamina's okay. I guess the issues with this card is one, his vision is crossing isn't that high, and he's got high lows. I'm not a big fan of having a wingback with high lows, so high attacking work rates, I find they get up the ground too much and they kind of leave you, on the counter, they kind of leave you vulnerable, I guess, basically. Tierney, 4-star skills is nice. High highs, I actually like that. Yeah, this is my choice of, yeah, he's the one. That's the left back you're going for, I think, boys. Let me have a quick look at this one. 3-star, 3-star, high mediums. Oh, horrible composure. Oh, horrible vision. Nah. I mean, look, if you want to play like a pure defensive left back, maybe. The defensive stats aren't the worst. But, I mean, pretty bad vision and stuff like that. Composure's not great. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, look, you could go a Patrick. You could go... I think these would be my top two, like, really cheap ones. Tierney and Van Aanholt. So if I had to pick a top two really cheap, they're probably the two I'd go for. If pace isn't as big a deal for you and you want to go a little bit more expensive, then I'd probably be looking at Shaw and Mendy. Just because, obviously, their dribbling and defensive stats are going to be better than, you know, these guys. But this is probably my pick, man, in terms of cheap. You got 78 rated left back. So he's not going to be, you know, super, super expensive. High highs are really good work rates. Means he does work up the ground and, you know, getting good positions up the ground, but he also works hard back. Really nice pace. Really good dribbling. He's not really lacking in any area of his dribbling. So a lot of the other guys, you know, they would have mid-70s and then there'd be a 60-something, you know what I mean? He's kind of just mid-70s for everything. So he's just solid. Same with his defending. Just mid-70s for it all. Heading accuracy is not a big deal. Quite good physicals. 85 stamina is really, really good. 82 aggression. And then even his passing. I mean, 72 vision and 77 crossing is actually quite good as well compared to a lot of the others. So if I was building a cheap Prem team, that is probably the left back I would be going for. Next we go right backs. We'll try and speed this up, guys, because I don't want to be going for too long. We won't touch these. Obviously, Kyle Walker, Cancelo, you know, they would probably be like top choices. Raya, TAA, top choices. Wan-Bissaka would be a good choice, but obviously they're more in that expensive bracket. In that cheaper bracket, I would probably be looking at... If you want to go really cheap, you've got like a Yedlin. Otherwise... Oh, you're probably lacking a little bit here, aren't you? You're really lacking here. I'd probably say you go a Yedlin. Other than that, you can have a quick look at Bellerin. And then probably looking at like a Reece James, but I'm not really even sold on that, to be honest with you. I mean, you're probably looking at Yedlin. Oh, we can't see his in-game. So I forgot to tell you this. The database they dropped the top 1,000 cards. So we can see the in-games of pretty much, you know, most of the cards, but there is a couple that we still can't see yet. So it's hard to say here, but I mean, good pace. He'll have okay defending, solid dribbling. His physicals will probably be a bit low, but I mean, his stamina should be fairly good. It'd be low physicality just because of his strength and his jumping and things like that. So that's not too bad. We've got okay stamina here. Defending's not bad. Dribbling's not bad. And pace is good. So this isn't a bad card. He's got the high lows again. So once again, I'm not a big fan of that. But in terms of his dribbling, his defending, and his pace, it's a pretty solid card. And then after that, you're kind of going down a little bit, man. Maybe like a Reece James. He's a bit lacking on the pace, but his defending and his physicals are better than the other cards. So it kind of depends on how you like to run your team. All right, let's get straight into the midfielders. All right, guys. I think we might just try and speed this up a little bit, guys, because I don't want to make this video too long. So maybe, and a lot of people, I guess, don't need to hear it all. I'll just kind of pick out the ones that I think are good, and we'll just kind of point them out really quickly. So obviously, going past the 83s and 84s, I mean, some of these cards are going to be awesome. Wijnaldum with a 4-star is pretty cool. That will be a nice card. Fred, good box-to-box. Get out of these. So quickly, you got Fred here. That'll be a really nice box-to-box chat. High highs, awesome. 4-star weak foot, great. Really good dribbling. Not bad pace. Solid passing, like solid vision, short and long passing. Good stamina. Good defending. 82 interceptions with that 79 stand tackle. Yeah, this would be a really, really nice box-to-box. Or even a CDM, really. I say box-to-box, but I mean, you could use this card as a CDM because he's got nice stamina, nice jumping. His strength is low, but with the right chem style to boost up that defending and stuff, you could easily use him as a CDM as well. Torreira looks like he could be an okay CDM. High mediums, good work rates for a CDM. Only 3-star, 3-star, but really good balance and agility. Good stamina. Quite good defending. Good short pass. So that's not too bad of a CDM if you needed a cheaper CDM. Little bit low on the pace. 6'4". I mean, look, this is a 50-50 one. A little bit low on the pace and that balance and stuff I'm not really a big fan of, but high is 6'4", and then really good defensive and physical stats. I mean, I could see people using that card for sure. Ndombele looks a bit meh. Mason Mount looks average. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. What I'm seeing at the moment is a lack of attacking options in the midfield of the Premier League. To be dead honest with you. I mean, I'm seeing some alright box-to-boxes by the looks of things. I mean, you probably stay away from most of these guys. Sissoko, again, looks like he's going to be a really, really nice CDM. I mean, we all used Sissoko obviously last year. 6'2", high highs, 4-star skills. Balance and agility is low, but I mean, it was last year as well. But that 90 strength, 81 stand tackle, 84 sprint speed, 82 short, and 80 long passing. He will definitely be used by a lot of people, for sure. He will definitely be used by a lot of people. But once again, another good box-to-box. Not really seeing many good attacking, I guess, like cams or anything, you know what I mean? Or like attacking box-to-box. They're all kind of like box-to-box, like defensive box-to-boxes or CDMs at the moment. Can we get any? I mean, we got pace on my man, but he's got the 2-star weak foot. Lanzini, no. Again, another nice DM right here. This will be a very nice DM. Medium highs are really good for a DM. 6'1's a good height. Solid pace, solid physical, solid defending. Yeah, another one, I would say. So far, I think we've picked out 3 DMs or box-to-boxes. Fred, I'm not even going to try to say his name because I know I'll get it wrong and everyone will, I'll cop it. Sissoko for sure. Lacking a little bit there. Yeah, wow. Okay. Even Lingard's pretty meh. This card looks alright as well. Probably play Lamina as a box-to-box or a DM again. Yeah, this isn't a horrible card. He was a better card last year, but I mean, 4-star skills, mediums. But I mean, the other 3 that I pointed out are definitely better, chat. So I would say you're lacking in the midfield. You're lacking in the midfield. What I'm seeing so far, guys, is the Premier League has a good top tier, but I'm not so sure about their lower tier. If you want to build an expensive team, I guess, or a mid-tier team where you've got like Gomez at centre-back, you know what I mean? You're going to have cards like Bale and things like that. You've got midfielders that are actually not too bad. Obviously you've got like your Kantes and things like that. Your Wijnaldums. Those cards are going to be really, really good. But if you're going like low tier, so like, your 81 rated and under kind of cards, the Premier League seems to be lacking. I mean, there was a few centre-backs. There was a good left back in Tierney. Right backs were very slim. I mean, there's a few good DMs or box-to-boxes in the midfield, but you're lacking in the attacking options for sure. Let's have a look at the last 3. All right, so let's look at the left side, the right side, and the attackers, and we'll see if there's anything left. So obviously, we'll bypass all these. Pulisic could be a nice card. Felipe Anderson will be very, very nice. St. Max is always good. This card's going to be expensive, though. He always is. Delafeu doesn't look too bad. No. I mean, we'll have a look. No. No. Oh, I was about to click on him and then that shooting. Ugh. No, no, thank you. 84. Otherwise, we're trying to go through it really quickly. No, I'm not really impressed by some of those cards. Trossard wasn't a bad card last year. We'll have another look at him. I feel like, again, man, there's some good upper choices in terms of your 81s and 80s, but then once you get to your 77s, they start dropping off pretty quickly. Pulisic, mediums aren't great work rates. 4-star weak foot is good. Really good pace, good dribbling. Composure, though, is an issue. Yeah, okay, not a big fan. Work rates aren't great. Weak foot's good. Composure's bad, though, and also his finishing is pretty average as well. So, you know, usable, but wouldn't get my vote. Now, this is a nice card. His finishing's lacking a little bit, but this card is definitely better than Pulisic. 4-star is great. High mediums are great work rates. Really good pace. Really good dribbling stats. I mean, most of them are, apart from his reactions, you're looking at mid to higher 80s, which is really, really good for an 81 rated. I mean, 85 shot power, 81 long shots is really good as well. He is lacking a little bit in his finishing and positioning, but I mean, that's quite easy to boost up with a chem style. Especially because he has got good pace, so you might not even need to touch his pace if you don't want to. And then his crossing, 79 crossing's pretty solid as well, and 79 short pass. This is actually a really good card. This is a really good card. This would probably be one of the better cards at the moment. So, I mean, at the moment, that'd be my top choice. Wow, they downgraded St. Max. So he's got the high lows, which is fine. 4-star weak foot's good, but only 3-star skills. Really good pace, though. Really good dribbling. Good stamina. This is where it always lets him down, though. His finishing always lets him down. But I guess in saying that, you know, someone like Felipe only had the 70 finishing, didn't he? But yeah, passing and crossing is not as good. Look, personally, I would actually prefer Felipe Anderson over this card, but this card will probably be more expensive and more meta. The fact that St. Max was so meta last year, the pace, that the 90-plus pace and some of that dribbling stats are probably going to make him more expensive. But personally, I'd probably rather the more all-roundness of Felipe. I mean, the 4-star, the fact he's got the 4-star skills compared to the 3-star, got the better work rates in my opinion. Obviously, St. Max, you would probably say overall has got slightly better pace and slightly better dribbling. But obviously, Felipe Anderson has definitely got the better shooting and has definitely got the better passing. So I guess you could make an argument depending on where you play them and how you play your style of game. But those two are pretty good options. You've got Delafeu, who I actually quite like. He wasn't as meta last year, but I mean, high lows are okay. 4-star is great. Pace is great. Dribbling's not bad. Oh, okay. That's where it lets him down, though. 69 stamina is probably a little bit low for a winger. I mean, if you play him as a striker, you could probably get away with it. But maybe a little bit low as a winger. But other than that, good card. Shooting's actually pretty solid compared to some of the other options. 4-star, good pace, good dribbling. Not even bad passing as well compared to some other cards. So apart from that stamina, that's probably the main issue on this card. That's actually not a bad card either. My boy, Jota. 5-star. Whoa, they gave him the 5-star, 4-star. Could this be my starting left mid if I... Oh. Because he moved to Liverpool, right? So he's going to get a Liverpool card, Jota. But man, that's a nice card, chat. This could be a very popular card. 5-star, 4-star is insane for like early game. High highs are good. I mean, I'd probably rather high mediums for a winger or an attacker, but high highs you can work with. I mean, pace isn't bad. Dribbling's very solid. They're all like mid-80s. Stamina's good. 79 is pretty solid stamina for a you know, low-rated card. And his finishing's not bad either. 82 positioning, 77 finishing, 82 shot power is solid. His passing and crossing is not great, so you probably wouldn't want him to play as a winger as much, but like playing him as like a striker or something like that would do really, really well, especially with the right chem style. I mean, I could just see a lot of people just throwing a Hunter on him because everyone loves pace, right? Hunter. And just like boost up his thing. But it's a nice card. I actually like that card. And Trossard, 2-star skills, I'm not a big fan of. 70 reactions. This card's okay, but I'm probably going to go away. I probably prefer the other 3. So they would be my final 3, boys. If you're looking, or final 4, if you're looking for a left mid in the Prem, cheaper, you're looking at these 4. Personally, I think my top pick would probably be... Oh, I don't even know if I've got a top pick. I feel like I'd have Delafeu at the back just because of his stamina. And you would have to sub him off. But other than that, man, I think these 3 are all pretty nice. I'd be pretty happy with a lot of them. I really do like the 5-star, 4-star on this card, though. And the fact I'm a Liverpool fan. So there's actually some good options. Honestly, there's actually some good options on the left side in terms of cheaper cards. What about our right side? Let's go from the bottom. No. Ooh. I mean, he's got the pace. Greenwood. Have a look at him. Minamino. Boys. Could I get a little, some Liverpool action? Saar looks pretty nice. Nice shooting. Passing and physicals, though. It depends on his stamina, I guess. Adama. Oh, he's still got the 2-star weak foot, man. I was like, did they up the weak foot? Torres doesn't look too bad. Willian is always pretty nice card to use. And I think we'll go 82, so Pepe will also be nice. We'll stop there. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. These 2 will probably be expensive as well. So I know I said 83s and under. We'll go anything under 83, but like obviously they're going to be expensive. But so will probably Pepe and William as well. 2-star, 2-star, really bad. So, I mean, already I'm off this card. I don't use cards that have 2-star weak foots. That's just like a rule of mine. I don't even like cards that have 3-star weak foots. So personally, I mean, while this card's got good pace, you know, stamina's okay, good dribbling, even his finishing's not bad. Legit, that's not a bad card. It's just that 2-star, 2-star, I wouldn't want that. So no for me. 4-star weak foot's not bad. High highs. 77 stamina. Overall, not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. But once again, being from Arsenal, etc., being Brazilian, he'll probably be, you know, a bit of cash. Torres here, 4-star weak foot's good. High mediums are good. Oh, that balance really turns me off, that stamina. Nah, not for me, guys. Sprint speed's a little bit low. Balance is... I'm not a fan of that balance, that stamina as well. It's not a horrible card, but probably not for me. Traore, once again, that weak foot. I think it's a good card. The reaction's kind of bad. Composure's not great, though. And that weak foot, for me, say a no. Damn, what's with all the right side cards having 2-star weak foots again? I mean, if I wanted a 2-star weak foot, I'd rather just go like Traore over like this card or something, probably. So... damn it, we can't see his skills and weak foot. I mean, it's hard to tell you on this card, guys, without seeing his weak foot and skills and stuff like that. His shooting doesn't look like it's anything special, though, either. Can't see Greenwood. Can't see Daniel James, but his shooting's going to be bad as well. And then we're back to the left mids. All right, guys, I'm actually going to say, looks like it could be slim pickings, though. Could be slim pickings. I think Willian could definitely be a choice. I wouldn't want to go Pepe. I think Torres, if you need someone, could be a choice. But apart from that, man, until I see these guys' stats, I'm not really liking too much just because of the weak foots. I mean, look, maybe you guys are different, right? And it depends how you play. 2-star weak foot's not a deal breaker, I guess, if you're a big person of like, you know, you like to cut in and you pass it off and things like, or you whip in crosses. I mean, he can, you know, pace down the byline, whip in crosses, cut it in, pass it in. And you can get around it. But just for me, I like my attackers being versatile. You know, I like being able to go down the byline, whipping across if I want to. But then at occasions where I can't do that, I like to be able to cut in and maybe finish it on his opposite foot. You know what I mean? I like to have options. So for me, not really a thing, but yeah, could be better, I would say, on that terms. And to finish off, guys, this video's probably gone for a while, man. So I apologize. Let me know in the comments, actually, guys. Like, I'm trying to speed things up. So I will tell you as well, we'll be doing this all on stream. I'll be going through these in detail and doing squad builders with you guys, checking out your squads, man. So come check out the stream if you want like a really in detail stuff. I'm trying to find a balance between going into detail and also not taking too long right now. Alrighty, so we'll skip all these guys. No. I mean, 4-star, yeah, okay, this card's always going to be good with this 4-star, 5-star. Danny Ings a little bit slow. Albert Lewin could be alright. Antonio could be alright. Callum Wilson. And maybe Divock. Can't even see his weak foot and skills though. Joshua King last year was pretty meta as well, so I'm assuming he's going to be in the same boat again. Alrighty. So, I mean, I'm going to say straight up, I think your pick of the bunch would be Richarlison. In terms of like, anything under 83 rated. Without even looking at those, I'm probably going to say this is the pick of the bunch. High highs aren't the greatest work rates for a striker, but you can deal with it. 5-star, 4-star though is insane. Like solid pace. Without being great, it's solid. Balance a little bit low, but dribbling overall isn't too bad. Good stamina, like good aggression. Heading's not too bad and jumping's not too bad. He's not bad height as well if heading's meta again. 82 finishing, 82 shot power, 82 positioning is good from what we've seen from lower rated cards. So overall, I'd say it's a pretty nice card. 64 balance, 3-star, 2-star. Already, I'm not a big fan. Again, 3-star, 2-star, high highs. I mean, look, it depends. This is a card where if heading is a thing, I mean, it could be a really, really good card, but this isn't a bad card. 3-star, 3-star for Callum Wilson. Finishing's not bad. I think I'd rather Joshua King, though. Mediums. Oh, maybe not. He's got the pace, but... No, I'd probably go Callum Wilson over King. King's just got the pace. Because everyone loves. This card could actually be a good card. It depends on that dribbling. Looks like his physicals are going to be good. Pace is good. It looks like his shooting's going to be pretty good as well, but 71 dribbling doesn't give me much hope. I'd definitely say Richarlison is the pick of the bunch in terms of cheaper defenders. But look, guys, that's it, man. We had a quick look through, guys. That gives you kind of an idea of some of the cards that maybe you should look at if you are building a really, really cheap starting squad. Some of the cards you should be looking at. I think you guys, what you want to do is obviously build your dream squad, but try and be realistic when you're trying to build your squads. I mean, one thing I notice a lot of is, I try and be honest with people in my stream, and people come into my stream with their starting squads, be like, 2 mums, can you check out this starting squad? Give me some advice on it. Is this a good start, week 1 squad? And instantly I'm just like, look, dude, you're not going to have this in week 1. Because, people think, they relate the game to the end of this year. They think, oh, well, an 83 rated right now in the game is only 5k. Why wouldn't, 83 rated centre back Gomez be like 5-10k? The honest truth is, though, an 83 rated card at the start of the game, that Gomez will probably be 50, 60 odd k. You know what I mean? And that's for just an 83. So... in terms of, if you want to be if you only want to build a 50k squad, which is what you should be looking for a starting squad, really, unless you're putting money into the game for like a day, 1 or 2 squad, because you don't want to spend all your money. You might have 200,000 coins at the start, but you want to trade with that because money is key. You can turn that 200,000 into millions, right? So rather than spending it all on a team, you want to start with a cheaper team and use that money to trade. And as you get more money, you can slowly put more money back into your team, okay? But really, you should be starting... I wouldn't be spending more than 50k on a starting squad. I think my starting squad from FIFA 20, I think I spent about 30k on my starting squad for the first weekend league. And I know it might suck, using a 30k squad early on in the game at the very first weekend league and things like that. And, you know, it can. You'd rather have a more expensive, but in the long run, it helps you so much more, okay? Because that was my week 1 squad, but by week 3, I was sitting with like Neymar in my team and Mbappe in my team and Cristiano Ronaldo in my team. You know, I had players like that, and it was because I was able to use that money to trade. While the people who went and spent their initial 200,000 coins they had at the start on a team, they had no money to trade with. So 3 weeks later, they pretty much still had the same team with maybe a couple little upgrades. You know, they were still using the same, 82 rated team while I'm sitting there with Neymar and everything in my team, right? So you got to think about the long run. With foot, I know a lot of people like to think short term, but sometimes it is a marathon, not a sprint, all right? So it's not about basing it on week 1. Think about week 3, week 4, and week 5, okay? And it's a whole year you've got for foot, so you want to be having the best team you can for as long as you can. Anyways, appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Hope that wasn't too much yabbering on. Yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. I will see you on the next one. I am on holidays as of Friday. So the streams, the hardcore streams will be starting this Friday. So in 2 days' time, we'll be streaming every day, basically, longer hours and everything FIFA 21, man. Come check it out, guys. Love you all. Peace out.